is not going to be checked. That was the daily. 2, weekly, not checked. And now 3 is checked. Traditional, monthly, history of 4 months. I can go back 6 if I want, half a year, whatever. And the monthly are going to be dashed. So when I see dashed lines, and now I have the width at 3. So I know I said earlier that it didn't matter, and it really doesn't, but I forgot that I did actually make them wider for each time frame.
All right, I finally got YouTube working.
Oh, you did?
Well, I had to stop it, and then restart it again.
All right. So, guys, take a screenshot of the monthly. Hey, I'll leave it up for 30 seconds. Shouldn't take any longer than that. And again, it's all the same colors. Right? It's consistent. So when I see those colors, I know exactly what's going on. The higher the premium, the darker the red. And the lower the discount, the darker the green. Next pivot is off, and my VWAPs are not checked at all on this one. So that is the setup, and wow, look at that timing. It's 9:30. Right on time. We're getting pretty good on the timing. Any questions on that, on the setup? I can't hear Astro. You might have to put it in the chat, unless Mickey can hear you. All right, Matarazzo, Ghosty. All right, questions are coming in.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had the wrong input selected because I switched to a different headset.
Yeah, you're much better now. Jeez.
I love it. Your radio voice is back.
Cool. Yeah, this isn't the best microphone, but it's just a different one. So I'm glad I'm not popping anymore. The question I asked was, what was it about 9:30? Were you saying something earlier at the beginning of the stream that I missed?
I don't think you miss anything I don't think you're missing anything. You know everything that. I was just going over all the bar setups.
What you said right just now about it's 9:30 right on time or something. Was that?
Oh yeah, because
related to the chart
I
and the
said
price?
I'm going to spend 30 minutes on how to set up the par and the pivot extreme, and it was exactly 30 minutes.
I thought you were looking at the chart and Price was doing something that you talked about 30 minutes ago or whatever.
Yeah, if anything, his pizza just arrived. Ghosty Raccoon says, did he do the hourly setup or just daily, monthly, and weekly?
No hourly. Just daily, monthly, and weekly. Hourly on pivots is just way too...
Yeah. Keep your chart up. I'll ask the questions for you.
Okay.
All right, and then Matarazzo is asking a lot for me to take in. I'll definitely watch this a few times to make sure all my inputs are set correctly. Definitely fantastic information. Thank you. Yeah,
it is all recorded, right?
Yeah. I'll post the normal link in the normal videos. It should all be there. If there's an issue, then we can post screenshots. And then Ghosty says, "Blessed, thank you." You're blessed, Ghosty. I love his avatar.
We've got some really good avatars
We
coming
do.
in. I seem to.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the group.
Let's see. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, we got amphibians. We got raccoons.
Actually, I do want to talk about. This is not our indicator. This is actually TradingView standard pivots. I want to just show you guys what else I will use for levels, and I try not to have it on the screen all the time, especially if I'm sharing a chart. You'll see over here, and I know it's a little crazy. You can just use yearly and quarterly, since you kind of already have the traditional daily, monthly, weekly. But this pivot is the DeMark. there's actually 6 different styles of pivots. Traditional and standard are basically the same, but the DeMark, I have noticed that the yearly and the quarterly are very well respected. So if you look, let's see, yeah, if you look over here, this is it's pivot point standard. I'll put it up on the screen and you guys can take a screenshot. But it's this is daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and they get thicker and thicker as they go out. And this is the yearly, right?
We have the Denmark on the Pivots Extreme.
Yeah, it was spelled Denmark, but it's the
It
same
still
thing.
it still says Denmark instead of Demark.
Yeah, well, I haven't been able to get a hold of her coder for like a month now.
Yes, we have
Oh,
it
yeah.
also in CMP pivots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
But
know if you want
I-
to hire my coder, Mickey.
I'm tempted to. I kind of committed with this guy already, and he provided us a lot of what we use, so we'll just see when that time
But yeah.
comes.
If you got services you paid for, then definitely use them.
Yeah.
I don't know how expensive my guy is.
All right, so we good?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so with these, I have all 5 time frames up, but I really mainly care about the quarterly and the yearly. So I'm gonna highlight those. And how you get this indicator up, you go to indicators, and you just very simply type in pivot points. And it's going to be the very first one that comes up. It's this one right here, pivot point
That's only because
standard.
it's favorited. It'll actually be the
Well,
second
yeah.
one.
Okay. So, it's going to be because it's TradingView's default pivot
Yeah,
point.
that's how you know that it's a TradingView default, is that it doesn't have an author over there
Right.
on the right. think.
Okay, good point. Yeah, that's very true. So you just click that, and I'll show you how to set up one time frame. So for these, you don't have dashed and dotted and plus. You don't have any other type of line except a solid line. So I basically went, I think, width of 1, 3, 5, 7, 6 and 7. I went thicker as it goes, so the yearly is the absolute thickest here. And let me put that up. And these are really, I mean, it's not even, you can't even scroll through. This is it. This is the whole thing. So DM, yearly, number of pivots back, 15, whatever. Check, and then all the lines are checked.
And on the bottom there,
yearly-
next to defaults, I think you can upload and download the settings.
Oh,
So you
Right.
can actually save that. It looks like it, right? Go to the down
Yeah.
arrow. Go to the down arrow, and you might be able to post that in chat.
okay. Yeah, I saw it go over to my downloads.
Yeah, we'll do that
Okay.
later.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll do that later. But I just wanted you guys to know how to get there. I'll do it again. Go to indicators, type in pivot points, take a screenshot if you want. It's very simple. All right, pivot point standard, screenshot, give you 10 seconds. Oh, I just added a bunch more. Hold on. I didn't need to add more, but yeah. So when you open it up, it looks like this. And again, this is the yearly. The one above it is quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. The daily and weekly, you see they're way up here because I hardly ever use those. I'm mainly just, but this level is huge and it's going to be very well respected. And so is this level here at 63097. So for macro, these are really good to use. Like this was my little range for the day, but for the week, it's probably could be something like this. A lot of people are looking for 58. You hear a lot of people in Banter and here. So this is at 57.7, right in that area. So anyway, let me go. So we're in Bitcoin now. I already showed you guys the trades that I took in par and kind of explained it. Again, if you have questions, hit me up anytime. I'm always on. I mean, I'm just not on the computer a lot, except for at night, because I drive around during the day, see clients. But again, this was an entry. Oh, you see, this one I have 3.5, right? So this was an entry because the 1 hour was.
All right.
Because I saw the 5 coming down, but I kind of 5 coming down, but I kind of ignored the 1530 ribbon, right? Which I'm just kind of repeating what I said at the beginning of the live session here. But the main rule is when the higher time frames are in your favor and flat in the oversold position is in my favor, because it doesn't have a lot of room to go down. So in my mind, the risk reward is fine, right? So the blue and the red are in the oversold. They're basically flat. They're not like screaming down at this point. The 1530 came down and it retest or kind of rebalanced into the 4 and 12, and then right here when the 15 crossed the 30 and the 30 is pointing up, that was your buy signal here. Now this is on the 15 minute. If I go to the 5, which is where I usually take my entries, you'll see it a little bit more. So right here, that was my entry. And that one I'm still in. I took half off here, as I mentioned, in here and in Banter. And now I'm just gonna ride it. I'll probably put my entry was here at 60.067. My stop will probably be at 6,400 in that area. If it gets below that, I'm not gonna want to be in this anymore. So let's look at silver. Those are the two I said I was gonna go over in the group. And then I want to pull in whoever's first to put up a coin in chat. I'll pull you in and we'll do a blind back test using the par. Actually, I'd like to just do that now.
I win.
So
I have a real interesting chart for you to check out in terms of both the par and the pivot.
okay, APT. All right. So
Yeah, it's got a real interesting chart.
Whoever's next, put a coin in, but Astronaut's already in with me, so APT. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hide the price. All right, I'm gonna hide it, and I'm gonna use my main par, and I'm gonna use the scalp, and I'm gonna try to guess. I gotta really hide this here.
Just as a clue, you're gonna want to zoom out. It's a situation of like a 1 hour, 4 hours. You're gonna want to set some par settings for like the 4 hour, 8 hour, whatever, as big as you can. Because it's been it's been real
so
weird.
we're not scalping it.
No, this is a bigger play right
We're
now.
not day trading it. Okay. So guys, for the higher time frame, like for more of a swing look, it doesn't go higher than a day. So 1440 that's a day, right? Yeah. Wait. 20, yeah. So that's 1 day, and that's as high as it goes. If you try to put in 1441, I don't think it's going to take it. And that's the red ribbon. So I'm imagining like around here is probably where I would have shorted it, but oh yeah. Okay. Oh, move pain. Oh, that collapsed. Sorry, I was on the wrong one. Well, I collapsed the scalp, so that's fine. All right. No worries. All right. Astronaut, how far back do you want me to go?
If you're looking at the 1 hour chart, then probably.
I don't have to. I can go look at the 2 or 4 hour, but I don't want to go higher than that.
No, yeah, pull up the 1 hour and just look at this 1440 and just kind of scroll back a little bit and
So,
see if you see anything from right around here. Or scrunch it up a little bit more.
All right.
Yeah, see those two big lows is what I'm thinking.
Let's see here. I'm gonna think right here was a long entry based off of this. Now the daily didn't come down. Now daily a lot of times it's not gonna go too deep or too high in the indicator. So do you want me to just kind of guess where I'd be doing stuff here for swings?
Yeah, I'm looking at that long, maybe a short from the top, and then the big red line. I'm wondering if there's another long spanning these on this lower indicator. You might have a bullish divergence between those two big lows there. That's what I'm looking at.
I can't see the price, and so it's I'm a little bit at a disadvantage, but I have a feeling that that's probably a bull div right here.
That one right there, but then also spanning all the way over to where it goes next
right
and
here?
gets back further to where it hits oversold again. Between there and all the way back, I'm wondering if you ever trade on the biggest on that massive scale like that.
No, I mean this is 10 days. I mean I will take long. I mean I'm either gonna hold for like 6 months to a year, or I'm gonna day trade. Now obviously, like let's say I buy DJT stock and it doubles in 2 weeks, then I'm gonna take some off the table.
If those two lows right there prove, like, that could be a 6 month hold kind of a situation. If you're thinking of holding for 6 months, that's my question is, would you take a play based on something big
based
that?
Based on a 1 day RSI, a daily RSI?
If you know, yeah.
I don't think it would be a 6 month play. It could be you hold it and you put your stop at break even, and maybe it goes for 6 months.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I can do with app is I'm just gonna maybe do like 6 to 10 entries. But yeah, Mickey's exactly right. I mean, if the price is much lower at this point, and this daily is starting to go up now, and it's been going up for a couple days, and the the lower time frame in this case also looks like it was probably making some bull divs. I think this is probably a good time to get in. I'm
That's what I'm curious about.
When I get off. Yeah.
And then, for that green, sorry to interrupt you earlier, for that green buy signal, I think you probably have a bear div at the top when that lower indicator gets overbought.
Yeah, I'm seeing right here. There's probably a bear div on that's the 1 hour right here.
Yeah, that might be a TP1. And then on the lower one, you got the white one might be giving you a bear div.
So you got 1530 and probably a bear div here. But this wouldn't be like a complete confident short, not with the way the blue is coming up steep and the red is coming up steep. I would be shying away.
Probably a
from
TP1, right?
Yeah, but I would definitely look at a TP1. This might be too soon. I'm going to say probably right here. And what I'm going to do there is just put white. Right? So this was a long entry, and this is TP1. But if you're looking at this one, I know it's a little bit messy, guys. Sorry. Let me zoom out a little bit. Really, this was a signal right here, but I wouldn't want to enter with the 1530 way the heck up here. So I want to wait for that. You're going to hear me say rebalance. I want that to come back down into the ribbons. And I don't like this spot either because of the separation of the red and blue. So right here, they're starting to come together. So yeah, I guess this is probably one of my favorite entries then. All right, so we'll keep that. But I'm not seeing a short until right about here. So
yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Right. I mean, the 1530 didn't go as high as I wanted it, but so it may not be that long of a short. It might not last that long, but I think it's gonna be confident. So now it kind of came down. I would say a TP is either right here based off of price or here. I'll put a white line. And let's just do one more entry, and then we'll go. Yeah. Sure. Well, let's do 300 that with that, and the 200 like really light blue. There, that's better. Okay. You're right. Well, the 60, I don't want that to be reading right now. Sure. All right.
Oh, for those watching the stream, not on Discord.
This could be a short, but with the blue coming up so steep, I might be a little bit skeptical. I'm gonna put, again, it depends on price, but I'm gonna put a dash on that, and then let me go ahead. This one I like, right? Because the 15, the 30, the 60 all shot up. It made that V. It's an inverted V that I love, and they turned, and when they turned, the red is still grinding down. The blue is still grinding down.
Yeah.
So I think I like that spot, and possible, but that might have been a quick one. TP here, but I'll tell you what, I probably would go again right here. Hold on a second. All right, so I'll leave it around here and maybe around here for the take profit. All right, so let's go ahead and open these up. I can leave that. Restore pane.
I apologize in advance if this is all terribly wrong, because I chose this chart because the chart itself is a complete disaster of chop. And it's just one of the charts that's been completely unique or very unique, different from what Bitcoin's been doing lately. Well, that's why I chose it.
Right,
but,
so you guys
that
see what the
green line there pays for any subsequent mistakes.
Look at that. I mean, I was totally blind. I don't even watch app. It's not even on my watch list. So, that's pretty freaking good. And then you TP'd here. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What's the, and that was at, yeah, it was around 1, yeah, it was at noon. So I would be on the charts at that time. Yeah, that trade right there would have paid for the week. It's a 20% move in 1 day. 25 bars.
Yeah, you take profit there. You put your stop loss below the market structure, right where the middle of your box is right now, and then you just keep riding that up with your stop loss under the market structure.
I mean, I'm doing 10x, but if you did a 20x at 20%, 400%, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm in a long right now at 10x. Just full disclosure.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at it. I might join you, but hold on, but there's more. But you TP'd here and you put stop at break even. You could have even put a stop under here where it made a little stair step, and you're
That's what I was saying. Put the stop under market structure, and you just ride it up.
Now you see the purple. That was the short. That wasn't even that's where you would have reversed, and at that point you're up 42%. So, wow. I think I'm putting apt on my watch list. And if you find a coin that works well with the indicator, keep it on your watch list, right? But let's say you shorted here, right? And I had to TP here. Now, when I TP, for me, guys, it's typically 50%.
Yeah, you could cover the trade with that.
So let's take a look. Let's measure this here to here. That's 4%. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. 40%, and that was in 4 hours. I mean, you go to work, you do a couple side gigs or whatever, you come back and that's nothing wrong with a 40% gain or 80 something if you're at 20x. All right, so that's 42 plus 4, so that's 46% within 4 days just on apt. So this actually would have been the ideal spot where I had the dash. I know I was a little bit not sure, but the other entries were just as good actually. So
yeah,
this
that's
was
a reload.
Here. Yeah, and remember I
that's
said
what I
right
want to. Yeah.
Right here was where I'd be. Here, no, because the 1 hour's coming down pretty steep, right? So I probably.
Oh, look at that current handle.
Oh. Man, I might just jump in a little low leverage on this. I feel like I'm FOMOing, but man, this looks really good. This looks really good right now.
So that's what I wanted to point out to people is if you're watching this and you are new to the par as a trading strategy, this is how we wire our brain to think differently. Obviously, you're not going to make trades by blindly looking at the indicator and not looking at the chart. You're going to look at the chart and the indicator together because that's the smart way to trade. However, what we're learning right now is it's actually really useful to reverse the priority of how you look at the chart. Start by looking at the indicator and saying, okay, I'm going to look and or wait for it to be good. And then I'm going to look at the chart, because when you look at that chart and that topping pattern, you're like, oh, of course, that's an excellent short. And then you had 2 more reload opportunities. So you could have added to that short and been confident. And I don't know how many, I can't see because the chart isn't stretched out. I don't know if you want to double click and get that chart a little bit more vertically stretched for us. But you could probably reload on that short twice and not just cover your stop loss in case this thing rips, but you could hit a profit target. And, if you're up to 3 risk factors on a short like that, you're going to have, you're getting closing 50% of that trade is fantastic. Because you're up to 3 risk factors on that short. You know, if you close it anywhere down there, that's fantastic.
You had about 18 hours to get any of these 3 entries. Even this one is fine. Let's measure from the lowest entry, right? And that was at 2 a.m., so I probably wouldn't even get that. I was sleeping here, but here I'm awake. This is at 7 at night. But just for this purpose, I'll measure from here to where you see the lines. That's the bull div, all right? I would not reverse to a long until I'm getting and we got a bull div on the 300, 500. If I look at here, you got a bull div on the blue, the 4 hour, and the red is a bull div. So you have a bull div on the 4 and the 12 right here. And then you had that 1530 giving you a gift right here, but maybe you don't take that because the blue's coming down, so you wait. Right here is the confirmation right here, and that was at 761, right? And that last trade was another 8%. So now you're adding that again. That's another 80%. And now, if Astronaut took a long at 760, I actually just FOMO'd and got in at 799 because this is a confirmation on the really high time frame. So I just put a low leverage and just, I think I'll sit with this probably for this one. I'll probably sit for 3-4 days. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I got long at 7.66.
Good. So I'll use this as a little experimentation for a longer trade that I don't usually do, but I'm going to start doing them now. So Seoul, Matarazzo, is it all right if I go to Seoul?
Yeah. Do you want to bring him in here?
Yeah, bring him in.
Oh, I was going to say the app
it's
fired a 1 hour squeeze long, so that's why I'm in.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, he can't talk.
Oh, okay. Well, you can just stay there and chat. I asked him for a date range. If you don't want to give me a date range, I'll just blindly go back. Let me
you gonna
collapse
keep an eye on
the
chat
paint.
for me? Thank you.
All right. So, all right, Matarazzo, I'm just gonna scroll back here. This is Seoul, and I'm going back into August. I have, no idea what's going on here.
Go back further. Go back a year.
I don't want to do that.
I'm just joking.
All right. August. All right, so this is early August, and I'm seeing the 300, 500 ribbon. I like it right about here. Yes, it's still coming down here, but that's on the daily. Waiting for the daily can really take up a lot of time. You can do many trades before the daily even starts to give you confirmation. So, but I like it around here. I'm going to, and this is on the 1 hour. Alright, so I'm gonna say long. Come on. Clicked on the wrong thing. Alright, so vertical. Alright, so here. I'm gonna say right there is my long on Seoul. Alright. So as long as these are going in the direction, you can stay in the trade. You can do little scalps, but I'm not doing like small scalps. I'm kind of doing more day trade swinging here. But you can stay in this trade, right? There's no reason. The blue's not really getting too far away from the red. The red is keeping up. So this is your solid higher time frame strength backing this up. So right here, right, is where I'm starting to look where I want to short. We went into overbought and now it's rolling over. right? The rolling over is definitely something you want to keep an eye on. So I don't want to enter when the 15 is almost already into oversold. I want to wait for the rebalance. So I'm going to wait for it to come up and pick that right here as that turns back down. And that's on a 15-minute confirmation, but this is on the 1 hour time frame. And I would say, do I want to short is the question. I'll say it's a scalp short, and then what I would do is keep it short until the blue starts to kind of flatten out, and the lower time frame is giving me a reversal signal. And here, you got the low and then a higher low. I'm gonna guess this is probably a bull div. I could be wrong, but let's take a note of that. And that's where I would go long, right here. All right, so I'll just do. That's 1, 2. That's 3 trades. I'll do one more. So I'm gonna be long in this. Here, I have a guess that after I TP'd up here, this is a TP right here. Let me put white on that. I'm gonna guess that I'm probably gonna get stopped out on that. Here. Alright, so if I got stopped out, and I really like Sol, I might even re-enter here. This was probably a good spot, but at the moment, it may have been a little bit hard to tell, so you might have waited. And then I'm going to say here is where I think would be a good short. All right, let's see. All right, I'll restore pain. All right, so here we go. Alright, get rid of the par. I mean, you see what happens? So from here to where you want to short it is on Sol, 34% move in 2 days. And then
nuts.
Here is 5.7%, right? So that's like almost 40 in 2 days. If you're adding these up, you're compounding this stuff. You just keep going. You got an entry here. This was not the best entry. Was this where I said I think I'd get stopped out? But I didn't. Anyway, now this was at 8 p.m. at night, so I would have got in here, right? I don't really need to get in again. I could reload if I want, but I don't really need to. So this is kind of
You might reload if you're thinking of that. What's that yellow line up above? Is that a pivot?
That is the quarterly. That's the yearly.
Yeah. So I bet if you were long there, you might reload with your main profit target at that pivot point, and of course you would get stopped out, but at least you would cover the trade, unless it goes up further. I don't know.
It never did make it, which is surprising to me because the yellow is yearly and the orange is quarterly. I'm really surprised it didn't go and touch it. That is a major level. So that's pretty rare, guys, on the quarterly and the yearly. Anyway, but let's say I did get here and here, and my average is in the middle. I mean, we already had 2 major wins, so even if we had a loss here, it's not a big deal. This was a whopping 3% before you went short. But if you took that short there, this pivot would have obviously been a good TP. And right at that pivot, you had a 1 hour going way the heck down below the oversold. So when that turned, there's your reversal right here. I wouldn't be crazy about the long there because you can see the higher time frames still kind of like they're trending down. So, I mean, you may have taken a scalp there and gotten. You could have got $6 or $7 move on Soul, which is it's not bad on leverage. So that could have been a scalp trade, but it was a little bit hairy with the higher time frames not really supporting you. But from this short to here is 10% move. Now, there you go. Any other coins? No, that's it. All right.
What about looking at Soul right now in terms of what it's currently doing and just kind of assessing? I think one thing that people watching the stream might want to think about and understand is this is an example of an exercise in being patient and waiting for those bigger time frames to get to the oversold, overbought, because that's the advantage you have when you're going back in time. You're blind, but you're also still cherry picking the optimal opportunities, you know? So it's a valid test because you're blind trading, but it's also a lesson to learn of, hey, wait until that red band is in overbought or oversold. Like, don't go aping into every trade when those things are just wiggling around in the middle.
Yomoto.
How many?
I completely agree. And you mentioned that earlier as far as, hey, go back to your chart. Yeah. So when you do that, when we're going through these exercises with the back testing, you're programming your mind in what you're looking for these optimal entries. So when you see it forming, that's one thing we should do is like a live trading session with you, KerMix.
Absolutely.
Just to get like a read on an actual play, because retrospect, like hindsight is always 20/20. Like I think.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you exactly what I see right now.
It's looking like, it's starting to get promising.
I think it is putting in a bottom right now. And I think might even just throw some in. I mean, it's already, Alex put it short. His stop was 142, and it's hitting it now. It's the previous week low, which was a good spot. But the only thing is the 4 hours that's not quite a bull dip yet. So I feel like there's a little bit of time, but I definitely think we're putting in a bottom here. Let me show, and this is what I try to do. I'll try to do it more, just kind of like a little predictive move on par. What I want to see here, I don't care so much about the 12. If the blue is going the right way and the 12 is this oversold, I'm definitely, if I get a signal on the 1530, I'll take it. Right now, this would have been a signal, but I don't think the bigger time frames were quite ready yet. So I'd like to see something like this. And it's all, I don't know how high, whatever, but coming down, right? And then a higher low, and then turn it up, right? And while that does that, and let me put that blue, right? That is the 4 hour. That's my mid time frame. And I want to see price, and I'm seeing some resistance here, top of CPR, some bottom of the candles there. I mean, and you got the VWAP. See the VWAP gap right here? So maybe it comes up, fills the VWAP gap. That's 144, right? So it's not worth a trade for me right now. I might get 2 points out of this. And by that time, the 1530 is probably going to be like up in the sky, right? So I'm not interested in getting it right now. But what I would want to see is the 1530. I don't know if it could bounce around, but I want to see it rebalance, right? Maybe like this. and there would be. It's better for me to project than to say, okay, right now. But I'm gonna say around here. That'll be. What time will that be? That's market close tomorrow, so that's interesting. So you also kind of want to look at time. So yeah, market close is a lot of times when something happens, and I think that could, if it plays out the way I want, I see how far away the 1530 is from the blue right now. It's just too diverged. So it could go up, but I don't think it's going to go up that far. And that's my outlook on Soul Ring.
I'm getting a lot of confluence in my chart. Just looking at BTC, which I think at the end of the day is going to affect all the other coins. And I'm still bearish. I really think I need to see like 57,900 and the liquidity down there to get swept before any sort of reversal to the bullish. Right now is just a natural price action rebalancing of the price just a little bit.
So here's what might happen on Soul. If I see that tomorrow afternoon, I'm backing up the chart right there. 136. Now I haven't looked at order blocks, so maybe Mickey would be so kind to look at some Soul order blocks. Maybe if you have time, to throw up a chart so we can get some confluence on that. But I like that. Now that could just be this trade. It doesn't mean that's going to be the bottom, but I think I could get a 136 to 140. I think I can get a $5 trade on it. You get it, 20, 30, 40, so whatever you want to do for your trade, and look for a $5 move. And I will probably TP 60%, and then maybe it goes down. If Bitcoin goes to 57.9, that Soul is probably going to go down in the, 120 to 130. You think?
I got a 1 hour order block. I see Soul bottoming out at 126.
Okay.
Like tomorrow? I mean, that's
No, not tomorrow, but like that's
okay.
the
Well, I'm just looking at. So again, here's me, just looking at for day trading, where I think it'll be.
I love this song. I see an order block, a 1 hour order block at 135, 134 between those two.
Oh, you do?
But that's
okay. That's close enough.
I mean, I don't see a lot of strength in that. Let me see if I'll pull a fib here and see what's up. Yeah, I mean, that'll be in the golden pocket, so it actually might have some weight there.
Yeah, and you have the monthly pivot there. Is that the monthly? Let me see. Monthly. Yep, that's the monthly pivot. And there's a daily pivot, a monthly pivot, and a golden pocket all around 135.
Yep.
Well, and then you also have a weekly pivot and a daily pivot at 134. So, yeah, in that area, I'm looking, I was a little short on my drawing, but in that area, I'm looking for a reversal for a day trade.
That'll be the zone.
Hopefully I get in, hopefully it presents it at lunchtime tomorrow. It'd be nice. So that way I got 8 hours to try to get a TP1 and before I put stop at break even or in profit. So yeah, that's kind of how my mind works with the par and the pivots. So that's it. I'm tapped out unless one of these guys that have not put up a coin wants to put up a coin. Any questions? I'll leave it open for questions. I could do one more coin.
Let's
more questions, like 5-10 minutes.
Okay,
Or if
but
nobody says anything in a minute, it can be done.
The thing I learned from this exercise is patience compared to what everybody was. When the market crashes, you have to realize that you have to look at the par and the bigger settings and notice where it's actually at, and have patience, and not just start going long when it's crashing.
Right.
Especially if the bigger time frames are still kind of up high.
And I can't tell
And
you
I think
how many times I've done that, and I still can do it. Still
so.
disappointed.
That's why I like. Yeah, that's why I like this method of you've got you've got 300, 600, and you got a whole bunch of settings that can just kind of help you remember, like, hey, this could go even lower, and I need to not start throwing every dollar at this one particular level.
Right.
Because you look back in history and you can see there are times when the big pink line, the big pink ribbon, and the big blue ribbon are just maxed out way into oversold territory. So when you're looking at the chart and it's tanking or pumping, you're having an emotional response to that crazy price action. You're like, oh my gosh. But if you look at the par and you're like, hey, the bigger time frames are actually still kind of in the middle. Like, this could keep going.
Right.
That's not I'm not saying short it while it's after it has already started tanking a bunch. What I'm saying is this method of trading that I've learned a lot from you recently is knowing, like, hey, it's not ready yet, or saying, like, this is a good setup, but it go lower, and I'm only going to take one risk right here, right now, and I'm going to cover that risk as soon as I can.
I want to point out one thing that's kind of in line with what you're saying. So you got the red and the blue. I mean, it started up here. It's going to go in waves, but it is drifting down. It's drifting down, right? Now, if you're only looking at the lower time frame, even the 30-60 would have probably given you a long signal here. But here's the 1530, right? I don't have a problem taking this, right? But I have to keep in mind that the higher time frames are not supporting it. So as soon as you get, you're not gonna do a TP inside the oversold, but as soon as that thing comes up over the zero and comes back down, get GTFO, get the fuck out, that's, and here's Sol, if you took that trade, actually, if you took that, you'd be burnt. Because actually, I wouldn't have taken that with the 1 hour. That's why I have it on the chart. Sorry, guys. I would not taken that here. Not that 1 hour. See how steep that is? Main rule is do not trade against the 30 and 60 unless you're like really think it's gonna just be a quick scalp. But no, I would not get in there. But here, that makes more sense because the 60, even though it's still coming down, it's like just ridiculous. It's what? I don't know, Mickey. Why are these settings different than they were with when it was PKPA? It's minus 173.
I don't know. I mean, that's just the way that it was coded. I mean, we just transferred it over, so it was probably the same, and this is the first time you noticed.
It doesn't really matter because I don't.
In order to have the lines do what we want them to do, we had to have the 0 at the center and then go negative. Normal RSI is from 0 to 100, where 0 is be the bottom and then 100 would be the top. So,
right. But the PKPA used to be 0 in the middle and positive 40 or 50.
I mean, you're scrolling on it now, and it doesn't do anything to the chart, so I don't think it really matters.
Right.
I mean,
But anyway.
Yeah, in actuality, just think of it from 0 to negative 100 to 0 to positive 100, and that'll make it easier.
Oh, yeah. Here it's minus 175, but you know, I could think of that. But if you took this, you're really fighting the higher time frames. So as soon as that comes up, I mean, that would have only been a $2 or $3 trade on Sol, right? And this is not. There's no bottom put in yet. This is just straight down. So
I don't
always think about
I'm
overall
looking
market.
at the settings, and it doesn't matter, because the lines in the settings are already how we want them. So I don't know why the ruler bar on the right is so extreme, but it doesn't have any relevance to.
It doesn't really matter to me. I was just curious why. With PKPA, it was like minus 40 to positive 40, and I don't really care. I don't ever use the numbers over here.
Well, that's what it is in the settings too.
I'm completely visual, so all I care about is overbought, oversold, and bull divs, bear divs, hidden bull divs, hidden bear divs, and where the lines are. And one thing I want to point out, let's see where there's a par. All right, so this is kind of a par gap, but it's not a really nice one. So guys, if you see all the ribbons all scrunched up at one side of the chart, it's called a par gap. If you see that on any coin, yell it out. The win percentage on those is pretty insane.
Have you been not using the bot?
Yeah, but they're not all par gaps, and sometimes there'll be like 50 coins on there. But I do like it. I have not been using it. But everybody, we have the par alerts. It's the channel right below the chat, and that'll give you coins that are oversold or overbought on 15, 1 hour, and 4 hour. And
why don't you start using it whenever you start your day? Because I noticed that you ask people to look at the coins and you don't use it. It's kind of, what's the point of me paying for it if you're not using it?
Yeah, I'll
No, it's had no coins on the list for a little bit, but yeah, it is.
It is a very unique confluence that you're looking for.
Right. I'm wondering if we could have the alerts for the 15, 1 hour, and 4 hour, and then I'm wondering, I was thinking about picking, and maybe Astronaut, Godfather, you guys can help me, picking one time frame. And I'm thinking 30 would probably be my favorite. One time frame that if it's below, like, again, this is where the ruler might come and play. If it's below right here, like the middle of the oversold and the middle of the overbought, if the 30 has a candle close in that area, I'd like to know about it. Just that one time frame. If that's something that we could do, I would love that. But if you guys think there's another time frame that's better, like the 60, the 30 I think is probably optimal. I found that that's one time frame I cannot live without on par. Even though I hardly ever use 30 on TradingView to look at charts.
All right, well, let's call it here.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right,
but
everybody.
You guys reach out anytime, okay?
Yep, it's being recorded. I'll post the video in Rumble, the Rumble videos channel. It's
Thank
at
you
the
guys,
top and it's important. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Make sure to join us. If you want to be part of the group, go to cartoonmoneyprinters.com. Sign up there. We have all the indicators that you've seen in this provided over there with the group when you join. We have 90 days free access, so you can check it out and see if you like it for 3 months. yeah, come give us a visit.
Yeah, and if you do have coins that you're looking at too, yell it out in the chat. Put up a chart. Work together. You know, traders just working together to beat BlackRock.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, there's always one of us around the chat room. We'll always be able to check out coins if you guys post in the private chat or crypto chat.
I'm gonna
Discord
try
group.
to keep up with this overall bias just on the main coins. I'll probably just feature like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sol. But if you guys have a special coin that you want me to look at, like the 12-hour, the 8-hour, the 4-hour, you know, I can just kind of give you a general bias and based off of pivots. So next stream, I want to get a little bit more into reading pivots. So I'd like